Henry Darger, the man who built a world to heal his broken childhood. This is the story of a janitor who, in a tiny Chicago apartment, created an entire universe to save himself. Henry Darger's childhood reads like a catalogue of abandonment. Born in 1892, he lost his mother when he was just 4 years old. His father, unable to care for him alone, eventually became disabled and was sent to a Catholic mission. Young Henry was placed in a boys' home, then shuffled to the Illinois Asylum for Feeble-Minded Children when he was just 8 years old. Let that sink in. 8 years old. The asylum wasn't a place of healing. It was harsh, regimented, a place where childhood went to die. But here's where Darger's story takes its first turn toward resilience. At 16, he escaped. He literally ran away, and he never looked back. Darger found something. He found freedom, even if it looked like the smallest life imaginable. He took a job as a janitor at a Catholic hospital in Chicago. For the next 50 years, he would mop floors, empty trash, and live in a single rented room. To anyone passing him in the hallway, he was invisible, forgettable, just another working man grinding through an ordinary life. But Henry Darger was anything but ordinary. Every day after work, Darger would return to his small room and do something miraculous. He would step into another world entirely. A world he was creating one page at a time. He called it, In the Realms of the Unreal. Over decades, working in complete solitude, Darger wrote a 15,000-page illustrated novel. 15,000 pages. To put that in perspective, that's longer than the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy multiplied by 5. He created hundreds of paintings, some of them 10 feet long, bursting with color and imagination. His story centered on 7 princesses called the Vivian Girls, who led a rebellion of children against evil adults who enslaved them. The children in his story fought for their freedom, for protection, for the childhood that was stolen from them. Sound familiar? Darger was rewriting his own story. In his fantasy world, children weren't powerless. They weren't abandoned. They fought back, and they won. He gave them the agency and the happy ending he never had. Here's what's so powerful about Darger's story. He didn't have therapy. He didn't have support groups or trauma counseling. He had a pencil, some paper, and an imagination that refused to be crushed. And he chose, every single day, to channel his pain into creation rather than destruction. He cut images from magazines and newspapers, traced them, painted them, and built elaborate battle scenes and peaceful meadows where children played freely. He wrote dialogue, created languages, mapped out entire continents. His room became a cathedral of imagination. His art wasn't just a hobby. It was his therapy, his sanctuary. His proof that he still existed in a world that had tried to erase him. And the most remarkable part? He did it for himself. He didn't seek recognition or fame. He never showed his work to anyone. This wasn't about external validation. This was about internal survival. He built a world where he was the god, where he could right the wrongs done to him, where innocent children could be protected. That's not just resilience. That's transcendence. Darger's work was discovered almost by accident. When he was in his 70s and too ill to live alone, his landlord, Nathan Lerner, helped him move to a hospital. Lerner went to clean out the room and found it. Stacks of paintings, boxes of manuscripts, an entire universe hidden in plain sight. Lerner recognized immediately what he was seeing. Genius. Raw, untrained, but absolutely genius. Today, Darger's work hangs in major museums. Art critics call him one of the greatest self-taught artists of the 20th century. But I think that misses the point. Henry Darger wasn't just an artist. He was a survivor who turned his wounds into something beautiful. We all face pain. Maybe not to the degree Darger did, but we all carry something. His life teaches us that healing doesn't always come from the outside. Sometimes we have to create it ourselves. We have to build our own realms where we're safe, where we matter, where our story gets to have the ending we choose. Henry Darger spent his life invisible to the world, but in the quiet of his room, creating worlds no one else could see, he was the most powerful person alive. And maybe that's the greatest resilience of all.